UFC 186 is taking place this weekend in Montreal, Saturday night to be exact. And the main card event is Demetrious Johnson versus Koji Horiguchi, who is actually undefeated, coming up against a 2-1 Demetrious Johnson. So it's an exciting fight, but it's an all-round exciting card. I mean, you've got Rampage Jackson coming up to fight against Fabaio Maldonado, which for me, I just found out it's not exactly good to be seen on camera, but I just noticed or remembered that Rampage Jackson was fighting as well in the same card as Demetrious Johnson.
Yeah.
So you've got my view, absolutely. I always watch UFC anyway, but definitely in this occasion. So starting with you, Shane, Demetrious Johnson, Horiguchi. I know you're a big fan of UFC as well. What do you see from this fight? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, first to talk about you just noticing, let me defend you a little bit, is because that fight was almost not going to happen because of the contract between Bellator and UFC.
Yeah.
Rampage is signed with both, but they got it to work. They got it to happen. So I'm excited about that. Even
Thanks for that. Thanks for
no, so it's okay. It's all right.
you.
I saved you. Yeah. So that's the reason why, right? Remember?
Yeah.
No, but the Demetrious Johnson fight is going to be a great fight. Both guys are very explosive, very fast. Demetrious Johnson's got those great knees in the clinch.
Yeah.
Shoots in very quick. Gets his takedowns. He's powerful. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got great wrestling skills.
Yeah.
Got great striking. And I think he's going to take the win over this, even though his opponent has great striking as well. He's got the karate background.
Yeah.
He's known for striking on the outside. He said he likes to land the punch before they even know the punch is coming in, or the kick, or whatever it may be. However, I think Johnson's experience in the ring is going to take the win.
Yeah, and so, I mean, moving on to Rampage Jackson's fight, which, again, really excited to see. But he's going up against Maldonado, who, the Brazilian, as we know, 22-7-0, he's no mug coming into this fight. It's going to be an awesome fight to watch. But Rampage Jackson coming into this fight is always someone who everyone is eagerly anticipating to watch. What do you think from this one?
I hope it's still the Rampage Jackson of old, because he's always been so explosive with his slams, with his boxing, his countering. He's knocked out Chuck Liddell when everyone feared him. Vanderlei Silva, who had those crazy haymaker punches, but he kept his cool. He blocked, he countered with the left hook and dropped him. I'd love to see something like that from Rampage in this fight.
So you've got your money on him for this one?
Yeah, I think he's starting to get old. His career's starting to slow down.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of wins. His past couple of fights, he's all won. But I want to see one more win from Rampage, and then I wouldn't mind if he retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what we're noticing from this fight, from me just finding out that Jackson was fighting this, but also Demetrious Johnson fighting in this event as well, is that there hasn't been as much hype around this fight in general, and around most of the UFC in comparison with what's going on with Maypac and May 2nd, but because every single clip that I go onto the UFC website is surrounded around McGregor and Aldo, and I can't help but be fascinated by it because it's a great spectacle. It's almost like a WWE tour at the moment, because you've got McGregor stealing Aldo's belt.
Yeah.
You've got them consistent. You've got, I don't even know the number of people that turned up in Ireland, but the atmosphere was absolutely electric just for a press conference.
Yeah.
And there's never been this much hype around a UFC fight. And I know, Britton, you're an MMA enthusiast. You're obviously our boxing expert on here, but you're excited about this fight, right? McGregor Aldo?
Super excited about this fight. I mean, like you said, I'm a boxing guy.
Yeah.
But I've gotten text messages and tweets and people climbing in my DM and Instagram asking me how I feel about this fight. I mean, how I found out that it was even happening was a lot of people on Instagram added my name to one of the press conferences where McGregor was just going off.
Yeah.
And I was so into it. I was like,
yeah.
this kind of reminded me of when Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya were doing the build-up of their fight. And Floyd was just antagonizing him and pushing his buttons. And, McGregor is really good for the sport of UFC. You know, I think they put a battery in his back and they said, hey, we really need you to, lead this charge.
Oh.
Get some more hype around this fight, around our sport. And whether you love him or hate him, whenever someone can bring that kind of attention to your sport and he's not doing anything to shame it, I think that you need to applaud that. So I'm really excited about this fight. But, I really want you to give your breakdown. You gave me a really good breakdown off camera, something that I, didn't even anticipate. But, I want to know how you feel like this fight is going to go.
Yeah, and this is where we differ, because I'm a big McGregor fan.
Yeah,
you gave it away before you.
I know, but we've talked about it before, and I'm like, I love McGregor. Not just because he's Irish, and I have origins that relate to that, but it's just like I love what he brings to this sport, and I love it as well. I understand that Dana White's got him on a wind-up toy, and he's like winding him up, right, go. Explode, cause as much mayhem as you can, and I don't believe that all this is natural. Don't get me wrong. I think McGregor's a fiery character, but he just so happens to grab Aldo's belt. He just happens. This is all pre-predicted as well as a fight. But I'm interested in terms of the fight as a whole, because this is all or this is all on camera, should I say? But what's going into it off camera? What are they training for in this fight? What do you think is going to happen once they get inside the octagon?
I don't want you to think I dislike McGregor.
No,
he's a great fighter. I love that he tries things like spinning back roundhouse kicks and jumping double roundhouse kicks. That's awesome. I just don't see him beating Jose Aldo. I don't think he's fought anyone of that caliber yet. And Jose Aldo can throw hooks to the body and follow up with kicks that sweep people's legs out from underneath them. You know, and if McGregor has that wide stance, that wide base like he always does, he may not get his leg swept from underneath him, but he's going to get his leg chopped off. Yeah. You know, and that's going to be brutal for him. And I see
that sounds worse.
Yes,
I know.
It's probably going to get a lot of views though.
Yeah,
Get the ratings will pile up. What McGregor has been used to before is winning fights early. And he is very good at doing so. My fear as a McGregor fan in this is if it goes to the latter stages of the fight. And I think that Aldo then will have the experience and will be able to take the fight home basically after that.
So you think it's going to be an early knockout for McGregor?
If McGregor's going to win, that's what I think he's going to win.
Okay.
That's what I think it's going to happen.
And you?
I disagree entirely. I think second or third round knockout for Aldo. Winning it.
All right, well, there you have it. Some early predictions for this fight. Looking forward to it. Make sure to check out all the videos, guys, we've been talking about. Maypac, which is obviously coming up. Our predictions here. Great stuff, joined by Shane Faison. Make sure to check out him. At Fight Tips, he's got a video coming up with telling people how to fight like Mayweather. And check out Britain at Britton Harden on 120 Sports also. Thanks, guys. Come back and subscribe to TYT Sports.